Ever since starting the show, me and you have practiced and preached a wait and see approach. So
with this, it's going to require patience.
Mm-hmm.
I know it's a really hard thing to look at it and say we just traded Josh Hader. Like Jake said, the wait and see approach. I know it sucks to have to wait and see what happens, but I'm going to stress it again, patience and perspective. Let's go to Robert Gasser.
Robert Gasser. So he's a guy that has high strikeouts.
David Stearns did say that he's quietly one of the better pitching prospects in all of baseball right now.
Let's see what happens in the next 2-3 years. They better not let any of these people turn into stars.
What's up, Milwaukee Brewers fans? Tyler from Wisco Fanatics. Allow me to be the first to break down Robert Gasser's absolutely electric debut. Kick this video off with Jake and I talking about the Josh Hader trade nearly 2 years ago and the approach that we took to the way fans were reacting to the Josh Hader trade, which at the time was obviously a tough pill to swallow, but has turned into players like William Contreras, Yoel Payamps, and now we're getting to see the Major League debut of Robert Gasser. So I have this broken down by pitch. I'm going to go with his fastball, his sinker, and then his incredible sweeper. I just want to talk about some of the situations he got in, some of the positions that he was in with some of the at-bats that he had, and then give some statistics on his pitch arsenal and his sequencing. So starting with his fastball, locating it really well, right on the inside of the zone, gets a pop-up right away. Really good start. Fastball, painting corners. Another one right on the edge. This one right at the bottom of the zone. Willie Adames makes a great play across the diamond. That one, you're not doing anything with that. Again, another one painted right on the inside corner for a ground out. Another one painted right on the corner. Now, this is the full breakdown of everywhere that Robert Gasser threw a four-seam fastball. Now, I get you're going to see some of these in the middle and be like, whoa, he's throwing too many fastballs down the middle. He's using the strike zone. And the other thing to remember is when you're looking at this picture, you have to remember that there are sinkers after some of these pitches. There are sweepers before and after some of these pitches. So these pitches that are, that looks like right down the middle and it looks like it might be, whoa, what are we doing? You have to remember sequencing. We're only looking at one pitch right here. So remember the sequencing. There's more to it than just looking at a bunch of fastballs in the strike zone. And there are other pitches involved, and he uses them well. He threw his fastball 26.6% of the time yesterday. And I'm going to get into his sinker now, which he threw 22.8% of the time last night. And it's just a tick slower than his four-seam fastball. First one was at 92, that one at 93, which when it's in on the hands like that, that's how you get jammed on the hands. Bryce Durang makes a great play at second base and an insanely quick transfer to the throw. But this sinker that he's throwing, just a mile or two an hour slower than his fastball. And it messes with hitters. It messes with their timing. That's a sinker basically right down the middle of the plate. But when you're looking for, a four-seamer that's going to go basically straight, and then you get a sinker that moves a little bit, that's just enough to disrupt the timing. So here's the breakdown of all the sinkers that Robert Gasser threw. He did have 2 swing and miss pitches on his sinker, so he did a really good job with that. And then the last pitch that I'm going to get to for Robert Gasser is the sweeper. This pitch was devastating to the Cardinals last night. That one being his first career strikeout, which came in the first inning, and he did not look back. His sweeper was fantastic. It generated a 46.7% whiff rate. That's nearly 50% of sweepers that he threw, and he threw a lot of them. He threw 45.6% of his pitches were sweepers, and the Cardinals swung and missed at essentially 47% of them. And he's painting corners with this pitch. That's insane, the way that he's locating this pitch. Robert Gasser's control on these pitches last night was fantastic. That one he missed, that's a beautiful pitch. Perfect pitch. That's the best hope that some of these Cardinals hitters had against his sweeper. was to reach, ground out, pop up. There is one that gets hit out to Blake Perkins that was decently struck, but for Robert Gosser to be locating this pitch like that, guys had no chance. This is the location breakdown of his sweeper. For a lot of these, you can see in the middle, sure, and an 80-mile-an-hour pitch down the middle might seem like an easy way to get hit for home runs, but the way that he uses, and I'll show after some of these individual at-bats that I want to talk about, the combinations of these pitches. I'm going to go through 4 combinations of pitches, just these 3. He did also throw 4 changeups, but that's a pitch that he's not going to use a whole lot. So the way that he uses these pitches and the sequence in which he uses them, he got 7 swing and misses on his sweeper. 4 of the 7 that were swung and missed on were outside the strike zone. 2 of them were right on the edge of the strike zone, and there was one that was pretty much down the middle. But again, when you have guys guessing and guys have no idea what's coming next for them, you can get away with throwing some of those down the middle. So now I want to break down some individual at-bats that Robert Gosser had against the Cardinals last night. This first one being against Paul Goldschmidt. So this sequence by Robert Gosser to Paul Goldschmidt is a really good job of working outside, then inside. Obviously, he yanked that one a little bit, and you don't want to hit a guy, but working that, after seeing a pitch that almost hits your feet, one looking down the middle almost looks like it's going to be outside. So that's how he can get away with throwing some of those. Obviously, it's not a sequence you want to replicate often. You're not going to be wanting to throw at a guy's feet often just to make a middle sweeper look like it's going to be an outside or pitch right on the edge. But that's the outside, inside, and then middle, and then he comes back with one more in a really good located spot. In on the hands of Goldschmidt, just gets him to ground out. So this is the whole sequence. Again, great start on the outer third, throws one outside. He yanked the third one by Goldschmidt's feet, hit that fourth one right down the middle with the sweeper, and then pitch 5 being just in on the hands is just enough to jam Goldschmidt that he wasn't able to get a hit, and keeping Paul Goldschmidt cold against the Brewers is good for everybody. So the next at-bat is going to be Nolan Arenado. Now, Nolan Arenado is the only player that got to a 3-1 count on Robert Gosser. Robert Gosser did not walk a single batter last night, but Nolan Arenado was the only player to get to a 3-1 count. And where did he go from here was an inside fastball inside the zone. There were 4 full counts that Robert Gosser got into, because now this is a full count. He got into 4 full counts. In the full counts that he saw last night, Robert Gosser threw 2 sinkers, 1 four-seamer, and 1 sweeper, all 4 pitches located inside the strike zone. Now, I want to go back to just these 2 pitches from Robert Gosser to Nolan Arenado. So after Goldschmidt, this is the next batter, the very next batter being Nolan Arenado. That's a 4-seam fastball in the inside corner. Almost the exact same spot. He throws a sinker which moves just a little bit, and it's just a couple miles an hour slower, and he gets Nolan Arenado to ground right back to him. So this is the full sequence. Threw a couple pitches outside the zone. Obviously, pitches 1, 2, and 4 outside the zone. Pitch 3, that's a swing and miss. The Cardinals, they were not prepared for Robert Gosser. The Cardinals had a 36.8 chase percentage against Robert Gosser, against all of his pitches total. 36.8% chase percentage. That pitch number 3, that factors into that. He took pitch number 4, and then Robert Gosser again, down 3-1, comes with a fastball on the inside part of the plate, and then pitch number 6, you can't see it, but it is a sinker, which is about a 2-mile-an-hour slower pitch and moves just a little bit, almost the exact same spot, and he gets Arenado to ground out to him. Now, this is Michael Ciani, the Cardinals center fielder. This is just another really, really good sequence from Robert Gosser. This is in the top of the 6th inning, his final inning in the game. And just, again, working up and down, getting a reach on a sweeper that's right on the edge of the zone and gets a fly out. This is fantastic. A 4-seam fastball down, another one up, and then a sweeper right painted on the corner. And the best that Siani could do was reach and poke it out to Blake Perkins in center field. And then this was the second last batter that Robert Gosser faced. And Fermin was guessing. He was guessing, hacking. Robert Gosser, the pitch sequence for this at bat. Robert Gosser is calm and cool and collected on the mound, making his debut. But Robert Gosser is feeling himself in this at bat. Look at the breakdown of where all of these pitches are. And then look at the type of pitches that he's throwing. So he starts them with a sinker on the outer third. Comes back with a changeup. He only threw 4 changeups the entire game. Takes 3 miles an hour off to throw his changeup on the inner third. Jams him. The third pitch that he swung at, if you go and look at this at bat, the third pitch that he swung at is a sweeper. He fouls it off, but he's guessing. Absolutely guessing. That is a guessing hack by Fermin. And the best he can do is roll over the next pitch for a ground out to Willy Adames. This was a fantastic sequence by Robert Gosser to bring out the changeup in an at-bat in his 6th inning of work. Robert Gosser was feeling himself. And this is the final breakdown of all of the pitches that Robert Gosser threw in his debut. A lot of stuff in the strike zone. It looks like a lot of stuff outside the strike zone. But again, the super high chase rate that he had, the sequencing that he was working with in his pitches, he was fantastic. He was absolutely fantastic. I can say nothing short of fantastic for Robert Gosser. I cannot wait to see him pitch again for the Milwaukee Brewers, and I hope he never wears another jersey besides a Milwaukee Brewers jersey. Looking at all of the pitches he threw, he faced 20 batters, recorded 18 outs. He had 6 innings pitched, only gave up 2 hits, no walks, 4 strikeouts. He only allowed 1 hard hit. He allowed 1 98-mile-an-hour exit velocity. 0 balls were hit more than 100 miles an hour off the bat of Robert Gosser. The average exit velocity for the St. Louis Cardinals against Robert Gosser was 79.5.